Fiend's power is too great. We must send it back.
He-Man was a pop culture phenomena of its time and gained many fans during its initial screening in 1983. The concept of the animated series was highly captivating and included many relatable characters. What stood out in the series was the life lessons it offered and how one can overcome difficult situations with the power of belief and a good team. There's another reason why this series was a hit, and it's because of the ultimate villain called Skeletor. You may recognize him from all the memes on social media, but this time, we will explore why this villain is highly underrated and what makes him different from other villains. We will explore the character of Skeletor by taking a brief look at 10 episodes of the nostalgic series, mainly focused on him. So without any further wait, let's dive into the realm of Eternia and the secrets of Castle Grayskull. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
The time has come.
The Cosmic Comet. Starting with the first episode of the series, the Cosmic Comet laid the foundation for this exceptional series. We were introduced to the primary characters and storylines that played out in the subsequent episodes. The episode revolves around a powerful comet that has the ability to destroy the realm of Eternia. It begins with Skeletor, who takes this comet under his control with a magic spell. On the other hand, Prince Adam, who also happens to be He-Man, takes notice of this situation, and his team try to curb the Cosmic Comet with the help of a veteran sorcerer named Zagraz. Now, Zagraz is the underrated MVP of the episode. This guy created the Cosmic Comet, but later failed to take control of it. What's even more interesting is that he created the comet in pairs, so that they could orbit Eternia in complete peace. But mistakes caused them to crash into each other, and the lonely comet became victim to the prowess of Skeletor. The entire episode features the struggle He-Man and his team go through to regain control of the comet. Now, you may be wondering that it would be so easy for Zagraz to retake control, as he designed the comets, but it's not that easy. After losing control, Zagraz lost all his confidence and didn't believe in his abilities. While Zagraz regains his confidence, we can see He-Man face off with Skeletor. Now, Skeletor is no match against He-Man when it comes to physical prowess, but this time he had the power of the comet and made quick work of the heroes with his dark powers. Skeletor then makes his move against the realm of Eternia. As he prepares for the final assault, Zagraz regains his confidence and creates another comet and reunites it with the original one. The balance is now restored and Skeletor bites the dust. But don't worry, because he will be back again, with restored powers and motivation. The main lesson to take away from the episode is to never lose hope and keep trying. Zagraz tried again and retook control of the comet. Similarly, Skeletor will try again and hope to be the master of the universe by taking control of Eternia in the later episode. If you're a fan of Skeletor, then this should be the first episode on your watch list, as it lays the groundwork for the tenacity and powers of Skeletor and gives us a glimpse of what he is capable of.
While you were sleeping, I finished my greatest creation, the Collector.
Colossor awakes. To take control of the realm of Eternia, Skeletor has a new plan, and it involves taking the control of Colossor. Colossor is a mighty statue that guards the secrets of Castle Grayskull. To gain control of the stone statue, the mighty Skeletor has come up with a new plan. This time he has a new weapon, and it's a secret warship that can turn living creatures into stone, and stone creatures into living beings. What's even more fascinating is that whoever is converted from this new machine, they are completely in control of Skeletor. The episode begins with Skeletor's assault on the realm of Eternia. He-Man and his team are taken by surprise. Although Man-at-Arms is turned into stone, Prince Adam makes a quick escape and speaks to the sorceress to curb this invasion. He is told to collect a secret ingredient that can make Skeletor's machine useless, and in return curb all his evil plans. After going through a wave of molten lava, He-Man succeeds in getting the secret ingredient. But is he too late? Because Colossor has already made his way to the gates of Castle Grayskull. He-Man and his team make a quick return and act smart. They exploit Colossor's vulnerability to heat and defeat him in unison. Skeletor's plan is abandoned once again as he bites the dust. But this time, Skeletor almost made it to the gates and even destroyed many in the realm of Eternia. We learn a lot about Skeletor's powers in the episode, including his Havoc Staff, which is a long scepter crowned with a crystal ball. The staff gives him the ability of teleportation, and he can command his minions through telepathic abilities. We also learn that Skeletor learns from his mistakes and comes back stronger. He is very cunning and smart, but his team lacks true strength, and that often becomes his downfall. This episode gives a deep insight to the psychology of Skeletor and how he is obsessed with the secrets of Castle Grayskull. He will do anything to become the master of the universe, and will go to great lengths in subsequent episodes.
Did you you see that? The stuff's all over the place.
Evil. Ever wondered what Skeletor would be like if he was a good guy instead of a bloodthirsty villain? If yes, then this is the episode for you. Evil Seed is a rare episode in the animated series where Skeletor is shown in a somewhat good light. He joins forces with He-Man to defeat a common enemy. This episode does a great job of highlighting the saying, an enemy of an enemy is a friend. By now, we all are aware that Skeletor wants to be the sole master of the universe and will defeat anyone who comes up against him. Well, this time it's not He-Man, but a villain named Evil Seed. The episode begins with Eternia seeking a huge rise in plant life. Confused, He-Man and his team investigate the problem and soon find out about Evil Seed's plan to infest the kingdom and control it. Evil Seed has control over all the plants, and soon He-Man and his team are overwhelmed with the rapid growth of plant life, with no end in sight. The heroes are losing their hope, but guess who makes a surprise entry? It's none other than Skeletor. Now Skeletor was enjoying the chaos created by Evil Seed, but soon he understood that this monster needs to be stopped, or else he will take control of the entire kingdom and thwart his primary goal. Skeletor and He-Man combine to defeat a common enemy. The sight of Skeletor and He-Man fighting together is a treat to the eyes of many fans of the series. They break his control over the plants and soon Eternia returns to its normal state. But don't worry, because Skeletor is back as a supervillain and vows to defeat He-Man some other time. There's a great line by Skeletor in the episode where he says, "I may be evil, but I won't let this plant freak take what's mine." This line completely encapsulates his character, and we learn that Skeletor isn't just a basic villain. Instead, he has goals and his character is deeply layered.
The Starseed! It's mine!
The Search. Skeletor is a productive villain who always looks for various ways to take control of Eternia. He makes the best of all the opportunities, and this episode completely represents that. The Search is based on a mysterious object known as Starseed. This artifact has the ability to control the entire universe, and the person who wields it will be regarded as the master of the universe. Therefore, it's no surprise that Skeletor is behind this object and has come up with an elaborate idea to make it possible. He has designed a vehicle that can traverse through the mysterious caves and has a drill attached in front of it. But one thing he failed to prepare for was He-Man. Prince Adam and his group of misfits quickly arrive to curb Skeletor's plan. However, Skeletor gets the better of them a couple of times, until he is met with two mysterious monsters protecting Starseed. Skeletor and He-Man briefly work together to defeat these monsters. During this time, Orko replaces the Starseed with another object. Skeletor arrives at the location and celebrates as he becomes the master of the universe. But sadly, that was a fake object, and the real object is in the hands of He-Man. With Starseed in his hands, He-Man's moral virtue is getting manipulated. He starts to think about his personal gains and vows to destroy Skeletor. However, the sorceress quickly calms him down, and He-Man forgives Skeletor only for him to create chaos in the next episode. This episode truly explains the downsides of having massive power and how it can corrupt you to the core. Doing the right thing while having complete power is extremely difficult. Skeletor gets saved in this episode from eternal death, but will He-Man get this chance again? Because now Skeletor will be back stronger than ever.
He-Man, just because you found the discs doesn't mean you can keep them.
Golden Discs of Knowledge. This episode is nostalgic for quite a few reasons. In this episode, we finally visit the lair of Skeletor and his base of operations. We also meet a Phantom, who previously had the Golden Discs of Knowledge. Now these discs are special and can give its wielders super powerful abilities. It is revealed that Skeletor fooled the Phantom and took the disc from him while imprisoning him in a Shadow Realm. After learning about this, He-Man releases the Phantom, and they plan to stop Skeletor along with their ally. But to acquire the Golden Discs of Knowledge, they will have to traverse in the dangerous lair of Skeletor. It is located on a snake mountain with hundreds of traps. However, Phantom has been here before, and he knows a secret way into the vault. He-Man and his team make their way to the vault, but Skeletor was already aware of their plan. He traps them in a magnetic force field. Later, Orca and Phantom make their way out and disband the force field. He-Man quickly takes charge, and a battle ensues between him and Skeletor. The evil villain has a massive snake under his command, but he's no match against the might of He-Man. The team soon reacquire the Golden Discs of Knowledge, and Skeletor bites the dust yet again. But he won't give up that easily, and will be back. There is a recurring theme in all the episodes, where we can slowly learn that Skeletor never gives up, and keeps coming back with various ideas and plans. Maybe he will succeed in the coming episodes, or maybe he will not.
The Fiend's power is too great. We must send it back.
To save Skeletor, This episode starts with an interesting situation. To take over Eternia, Skeletor unleashes a feared demon known as Shigora. But Shigora doesn't comply and starts attacking everyone in sight. Skeletor's dark magic is no use in front of him, and the evil supervillain soon realizes that he has messed up big time. On the other hand, He-Man takes notice of this situation and feels that Shigora can be a threat to Eternia if he manages to defeat Skeletor. The viewers can see an unlikely collaboration between Skeletor and He-Man as they try to take down a common enemy. Although they are enemies, they work pretty well together and manage to take down Shigora and send him to his own dimension. But this unlikely collaboration doesn't last long, as Skeletor vows to defeat He-Man as soon as Shigora is defeated. This episode is special for various reasons. First, it's the teaming up of Skeletor and He-Man. Both of them don't have the best chemistry in the world, but they make it work due to a common enemy. It would be great to see them work together more often, as they both adore Eternia. But sadly, one wants to control it, while the other would do anything for the freedom of the people. This episode is great for people who want to see a somewhat good side of Skeletor, who is helping people instead of destroying them. The Shadow of Skeletor. This time, Skeletor uses the tactic of a proxy war to deal defeat to Eternia. The planet of Eternia has a colony on the moon, and they have been on good terms with the natives for quite some time now. But things turn sour when Skeletor manipulates the people of the Dark Moon and gives them a deadly photon blaster to attack the other side of the moon. Things start to get pretty intense, and He-Man has to get involved. But how did He-Man learn about this situation? Let me tell you. During a bright afternoon in Eternia, a plane makes a crash landing near Prince Adam, and upon investigation, they learn that the Beast is traveling somewhere. Beast is Skeletor's minion, and He-Man figures out the conspiracy due to his involvement. With the help of his allies and a complete thriller sequence, He-Man destroys the photon blaster and guarantees peace between both the colonies. Skeletor bites the dust yet again, but this time, we learn that Skeletor can go to any lengths to capture Eternia, even if it means destroying other nations and kingdoms. Double trouble. By now, we have seen various tactics that Skeletor has employed to get the better of He-Man. Seriously, the evil villain should be applauded for his efforts, and this time he went one step ahead and created a duplicate. Yes, Skeletor got his hands on the legendary Mirror of Moravad. This mirror has the ability to evil clones, and he decided to create a clone of He-Man's good friend Kordar. Kordar had arrived in Eternia to visit his good friend, along with his companion Shadow Masters. Things soon get interesting when the real Kordar is replaced by the evil one, but the farce doesn't last for long, as He-Man and his companions learn about the true identity of Kordar. His cover was blown, and he decided to use a smoke bomb and make a run for it. But you can't escape the might of He-Man, and soon evil Kordar is defeated, and with that, Skeletor's plan to steal the secrets of Castle Grayskull. However, the ensuing battle between evil Kordar and good Kordar is epic. We can see He-Man get confused quite a few times while figuring out who to attack, but with the help of his allies, Eternia is at peace yet again, and Skeletor will have to come up with a new and improved tactic. Instead of attacking Eternia himself, Skeletor decided to send a different enemy. This isn't common in the series, as Skeletor likes to do everything himself and has little to no confidence in his minions. However, he is proven right yet again and will have to get his hands dirty if he hopes to become the master of the universe and steal the secrets of Castle Grayskull. Here, there, Skeletors everywhere. Can't get enough of Skeletor? Well, this is the perfect episode for you, because the only thing you will see in this episode is several miniature versions of the evil supervillain. But before that, let's find out how we have a Skeletor Mania on our hands. The episode starts with a peaceful afternoon in Eternia, where He-Man and his team are having a good time. Man-at-Arms has just created a new machine that can make small duplicates of the person. Yes, we have 2 duplicate episodes back to back, and they both have double the entertainment. So coming back to the story, Skeletor learns about his new machine through his telepathic powers and devises an evil plan to take over the castle. Well, it sounds evil at first, but soon turns out to be pretty predictable, considering the powers of He-Man and what he is capable of. Skeletor sneaks inside the castle and makes several mini versions of him. These mini Skeletors wreak havoc in the kingdom and start destroying everything in their sight. To curb this problem, He-Man travels to the deadly lair of Skeletor, along with his close companion, Battlecat. He-Man then battles waves of mini Skeletors running at him in an interesting battle. However, he soon figures out that he needs to turn off the machine to stop this process altogether, and pulls it off. Subsequently, all the mini Skeletors disappear into thin air, and Skeletor has to bite the dust yet again. This episode makes us truly believe that Skeletor is easily one of the most stubborn villains out there. He just never gives up. After failing many times against He-Man, he still comes up with elaborate plans and never loses hope. The Magic Falls. The last episode of this video also has one of the best plots in the list. This time, Skeletor actually devises an elaborate plan, and it also works to some extent. We also see his minions finally get useful and offer some decent advice, instead of just hiding behind his shadows. So what is the episode and why is it so underrated? Let's find out. The Magic Falls episode starts as people are celebrating Eternia Day. It's the biggest day of the year, and everyone celebrates it in true Eternia fashion. Even He-Man is a bit carefree, but soon everything is about to change. Skeletor, being the true villain he is, decides to spoil Eternia Day and has an elaborate plan. He wants to steal the scepter of power from King Randor, and his sidekick, Evil Lyn, comes up with an elaborate plan to disguise Cobra Khan as a needy citizen and infiltrate the castle. This isn't all though, as Skeletor and his goons also ambush the magic-wielding Orko and drain his magical powers. Although Orko is a funny sidekick to He-Man, his magical abilities are very underrated, and Skeletor finally understands that. Following the disaster, He-Man comes to the rescue and immediately starts to find ways to restore Orko's powers. They traverse to the legendary magical waterfall, but are denied entry. The thing is, one needs to be polite and use the word please to enter. Even superheroes, like He-Man, are obliged to say please. We are just mere mortals. Anyways, the duo enter the magical waterfall, and after a tough ordeal, Orko manages to bathe in the water and gets his powers back. Orko getting his powers back quickly turns the tide in He-Man's favor, and soon Skeletor is defeated yet again. But don't worry, he will come again. However, for now, Eternia Day is saved, and with that, we can see the common people celebrating in a peaceful and safe environment. Marvelous. After going through several episodes of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, there is one thing that completely stands out. Each episode is a life lesson in itself. For example, the episode of Cosmic Awakens teaches us about the power of teamwork, and to save Skeletor teaches us that sometimes we need to shake hands with the enemy to defeat a bigger problem. But one thing that completely surprised me was the relentless passion of Skeletor to take over Eternia. Skeletor is determined in his pursuit and never gives up until he attains his goal. He is aware that He-Man is way stronger than him. Instead, he comes up with elaborate plans to be the master of the universe. Maybe we should all be a bit like Skeletor. Destructive habits aside, Skeletor teaches everyone the value of never giving up. Every time he is defeated, he comes back again, and he will keep coming back until Eternia remains. Maybe that is the curse of Eternia, and maybe that is the true purpose of He-Man. The iconic He-Man series have evolved a lot in recent times, and they even came up with a reboot on Netflix. If you're looking for more content around Skeletor, then do check the series out. However, if you want to explore similar videos, then do check out the Marvelous Videos channel and browse from over hundreds of videos based on interesting characters. Tell us about your favorite episode in the comments down below, and what was the life lesson you took away from it. Until then, stay marvelous. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks everyone.